Alright, so I decided to play Resident Evil 1, the remake, you know, the one with the creepy mansion, limited bullets, and doors that take 3 business days to open. And I thought, hey, how hard can it be? Spoiler, very hard. I spent the first hour running in circles trying to open doors that clearly hate me, and the second hour getting bullied by a zombie that refuses to die. I'm not saying I panic, but I may have died more times than I wanted to. This is the story of how I survived barely, with 2 bullets, 0 dignity, and a map that I never fully learned how to read. Let's recap my chaos into the journey through one of the scariest Airbnb rentals of all time. Game starts out simple. Choose your difficulty, choose your character, and then get dropped off with a bit of lore and done. Now go and learn how to play. The game barely gives you any tutorials or objectives. I think Dark Souls holds your hand better than Resident Evil. I started by picking up everything, a bit confused on what I need, when I needed, and where I needed. We face our first zombie and get the iconic slow 180 stare. As you can see, I'm a bit of a professional gamer myself. With my body and my dignity hurt, I leave only to have every door locked. Of course. I have a question for you, the viewer. How many doors are locked inside your house? Because unlike this game, every door in here is locked except for the front door. You know, the most important one to help you keep strangers out. Anyway, we go back to Wesker and Jill only to find out that they left. Where to, you may ask, since all the doors are locked? Well, my friend, shut up, because they left me a gun with a full magazine, and that's all that matters. After running around in circles, I make the horrible decision to open the front door and letting one of the dogs in, meeting my death for the first time, and I didn't save. Well, time to do all that again. What you guys don't know is that all of that was strategy. See, now I'm full health again. I run around some more, discover a graveyard in the backyard, and a puzzle that needs an arrowhead, but only find a whole arrow. If only I could break it off. Anyway, next I find this whole room for just 1 key, but don't have the space to pick it up. I finally understand the puzzle with the arrow, and all you have to do is just literally break it off. Anyway, I open the tombstone and go down only to see some weird statues and a suspended coffin. I pick up the book and examine it, not knowing you have to look at it at a specific angle, and I run around the mansion for another 20 minutes doing absolutely nothing. I come back the next day with more knowledge than before. Yes, I basically saw a moist critical video of the game. So what? I was curious on what to do. Anyway, we get our first mansion key and I can finally stop running around in circles. We explore the new locations, find a new safe room with finally a storage box and a couple more things. We explore some more. I get to meet a nice doggo. Wait, no, bad doggo, bad. We run and retreat. Gotta remember, everything in here wants you dead. We run and end up in the only one bathroom in the whole mansion. Can you imagine having an emergency and running from the other side of the mansion only to find it occupied by your Uncle Chris? God. And there he is. Looks like he drowned. Damn it, he owed me $20. Now what am I gonna do? Oh well, at least we got the key that he was protecting and go outside for some fresh air. Only to find some plant chemical. Is it herbicide? Is it fertilizer? I don't know. But everything we can pick up, I will. You never know when you're gonna need it. We run around lost for a couple minutes until we find a room with a shotgun. Now we're talking. Oh, wait. Yeah, no. Looks like it's a trap of some sort and I need to put something else in it. But what? Maybe an old broken shotgun. But where am I gonna find something like that? More on that later. For now, we pick up this dog whistle and some info on where to use it. We find the second safe room, and while exploring a lot more, we find what we need. A broken shotgun. Perfect. What are the chances? I'll put this away for now and keep exploring. And even find the place we need to use the whistle and find what looks like a fake key. Of course, only after dying to the damn dog one time. We one tap a crimson head like a pro and make our way to the real key is and switch it out, and that's how you get the new key. and the ability to keep exploring the mansion. With our new key, we open a door and find Rebecca and Richard, who happens to be bitten by a poisonous snake, and we have to help him out by getting some serum and saving his life. Now they go back to the safe house and we can advance to the next room. And after lighting some candles, we find a music sheet. Looks like it needs the other half though. After which we find a new puzzle with some knight statues. How am I supposed to solve this? It really looks like it's not giving me any clues. After a few failed attempts, I give up and even realize something. I wasn't even pushing the statues all the way. Oh well, all we got was some weird mask. Anyway, we go back to the shotgun room and make the old switcheroo and get a new shotgun. This will definitely come in handy. Well, until we find a better one, of course. Here is where we use the chemicals we found before. I quickly go get them, come back and kill the plant. Thank God this wasn't fertilizer and I was just making the plant stronger. Thanks to this, we were able to get a second mask, and now I'm starting to remember where it might go. We find the second half of our music sheet, and Rebecca helps us by playing piano, and it opens a secret door in the wall, so we can use the emblem that was in the wall earlier in the game, the one in the dining room. And now we can put the golden emblem above the fireplace, so we can use the clock that's near the wall as an opening mechanism to open a secret door in the wall. And after I said all that, my next question is, what the fuck is going on here, and who is designing this mansion with no kitchen, one bathroom, and every door is locked with an impossible to get key? Well, first of all, shut up. All that matters is that we got a new key, and that means new areas to explore. With our new key, we unlock a new door and enter some kind of puzzle room where if you fail, you get your eyes pecked off by crows, okay? Luckily, there was a hint on the wall and that made it somewhat easy. We get the next mask and quickly get out. I think we only need one, but it's protected by something else than a puzzle. Remember that snake that bit Richard? Well, it was actually big, really big. I wonder why he still has his arm. And this snake's name is Yawn. But don't worry, you don't have to kill him yet. Just run around him, get the mask, and now with all 4 masks, you can complete that one puzzle we had at the start of the game. You know, the one with the arrow and the backyard and the suspended coffin. Yeah, that one. Listen, I don't know what kind of ancient Mayan mechanism is this, but whatever, right? The fastest way to kill this boss is to have a flash grenade equipped and pop it in his mouth. Boom, that easy. Now with the metal piece, we can finally get out of the mansion and into a new area. We solve a couple more puzzles and make it to a cabin where we find a crank and meet a new boss, Lisa. And for now, our job is to escape and go use that crank on a nearby pool. We cross, and I really got scared of the falling snakes. At least they aren't spiders. I hate spiders. We make it all the way to the new area, the residence evil. Haha, I really wanted to make that joke. We make it to the safe room, use the storage, and continue until we find a goddamn spider. I now hate this game. We kill it fast and light some candles that we need for later. We can pick up a red book with nothing special on it, and we continue on our way. We find a key for Residence 001, and we find a control room key inside a bathroom, and that really seems everything you can do in this one. Well, now we can go down the secret ladder in that one room. It leads to some kind of lab, and once we get there, we find Richard. Hey man, long time no see. Oh, okay. You finally wake up, and the first thing you do is die. Good job. Have I ever told you guys I'm afraid of the water? Like, just terrified? Swimming in the open ocean has to be like the worst thing in the world to me. And it's mainly because I don't know what's right under me. I can do pools as long as I can see the floor. Anything else? Yeah, no thanks. But back to the game. We run across the water and make it to the control room where you can use the key I have and make it inside, away from the sharks. We now have to drain the water and use some kind of puzzle before the sharks break into the glass. Now that the water is drained and we can now go through like nothing. We even get to pick up a shotgun. I wonder how it got here. We also electrocute the big shark and pick up the last key we need, the gallery key. With this, we are now able to open the gallery and use the code to enter a new safe room. And also we get to use insecticide to kill some bees, and now we're able to go up and go pick up a key. solve the book puzzle, which happens to be the easiest puzzle in the game in my opinion. Now, this door opens right into a boss, a plant. So I'm right here unprepared, so I have to leave and come back with my newly acquired shotgun, and well, you know the rest. We kill it, but now we also have to tell Rebecca the bad news that Richard is dead. I forgot to tell you guys, now with the plant dead, we can pick up the last mansion key we need, and we now have to backtrack. But doing so unlocks a new enemy, the Hunter. An annoying kind of lizard that likes to run at you, swing their arms at you, and if you're not careful, you'll die really quick. We then find a new puzzle, and I take an embarrassing amount of time in this puzzle, and all I had to do was push the statue a little further. We jump down a hole and find even more spiders. We pretty much end back at the mansion, and oh, look at that, they do have a kitchen. We take the elevator and end up somewhere new, and oh, I forgot, I don't remember where I picked this book up from, but now I have it. And I'm too lazy to rewind my B-roll, so yeah, I now have an eagle medal. I'll save this for later. We then find a battery we need for another elevator, and now we go back to our safe room. We then use the key to open a new room with some animal trophies, and I swear, if it wasn't for the internet and guides, I would be stuck here forever. We pick up the 2 gems and we put them away and keep using our key to open up new possibilities. Our next room leads to a boss fight, and this time we're ready for it. It's Yawn, and now the objective is to kill him. And after a couple shotgun shells to the face, he goes down, and luckily we find the next medal, the wolf medal, and that makes 2. Now what? Well, we find this tiger head and realize that that's where the gems go. So we go back, pick up the gems, and we get this MO disc, which is an optional side quest to save Jill, or if you play as Jill, to save Chris. Yeah, and me being such a nice person, we decide to save her, and for that we're gonna need 3 MO discs in total, but more on that later. We use our key to open the last door in the mansion and pick up a jewel box, solve the puzzle, and get yet another key. But luckily it's only 1 door and I know exactly where this goes. We open the door and hear Rebecca scream, but before we go help her, we pick up a metal object. Now we can go help Rebecca from this hunter. So now we have to use the battery we found earlier for the elevator near the pool. We use the crank to stop the flow of water, go down to the elevator, through the waterfall, and now we're in a new area where we find new teammates and a new crank used to solve more puzzles here. And the best part about being down here? We're using the flamethrower to kill a giant spider baby. Too bad we can't keep it. We do what we do best and solve more puzzles. Now, with a cylinder, we combine it with a shaft, match up some numbers, and unlock yet another elevator. Now, down here, we're stuck with Lisa until we can open the door, but for that, we need a flamethrower, but I just put that away. Well, that's why we can use this box, take it to the crusher, and get a broken flamethrower, and use that to escape the room. Now we're talking. We find what looks like Lisa's room and now have to run across water while snakes are swimming right for us. Get the fuck out of here now. We get a new jewel box and open it only to get a stone ring. Huh, this looks familiar. We go back to the mansion and pick up the first metal and stone object. Now that we technically have 2, I know where the second one goes. Now, with both objects, I can open the steel door from the beginning of the game. It all comes back full circle. There's only one thing to do in this mansion, and that's to take care of Lisa. And first of all, how did Wesker and Lisa make it to this room without the keys? If Wesker knew how to get here, why didn't he share the information with me? Do you have any idea how much I had to run around the whole mansion just to get here? Fuck this. Well, whatever. We leave Wesker alone, use our wolf and eagle medals to open up a pool of some sort to go to the last area. This last area is the lab, and it's not that long, but I just realized something. I need to pick up the pace because I am running out of notebook space. I'm literally on the last half of my page. So get ready for a quick one. We go into the lab, solve some puzzles, use a computer to open some more doors, find and use the ammo disc to find Jill, carry a power unit full of explosive substance, fight some cockroach looking fools, power up an elevator, found out Wesker is the bad guy. He gets killed by Tyrant, which is supposed to be an ultimate weapon. We kill Tyrant, unlock the doors, save Jill, run to an elevator where Rebecca activates the self-destruct system, have to have a last fight with the Tyrant, use a missile launcher to kill it, and leave on the helicopter. And that's the end of the game. Oof, and with 2 lines to spare.